I'd like to call this board meeting together tonight at 7 p.m., July 17, 2018. Please call roll.
Trustee Humper.
Here.
Trustee Lawrence. Trustee O'Sullivan.
Here.
Trustee Rayberg.
Here.
Trustee Frost.
Here.
Trustee Vela.
Here.
President Skillman.
Here. Please stand for Pledge Allegiance.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no awards or anything tonight, proclamations. Okay, we're moving along. Appointments, confirmations?
None.
None. Public comment? Awesome, we have nobody.
We do have one.
I'm sorry.
Melissa from the chamber.
You have to be like that, John.
Melissa? Miss?
Okay, well, thank you for adding me to the agenda for tonight for quickly public comment. So, trying to figure out how I wanted to come in and thank you guys today for everything that the village did for the chamber for the past weekend's event. And, on Saturday when we were at the park, and the park just looked amazing. And I thought about like 12 years ago when Pat Schultz and I and Jan Murphy worked on October Cross event. And I thought a lot about her over the weekend and how proud she would have been of what you guys are doing and what the events that you've brought to the village. And it was so amazing. All the support from the village. The public works guys were just awesome. I don't even know all of their names, which is very disrespectful, but Bob and his crew go above and beyond to help us and make it such a smooth event. And, of course, they said every event this summer has either had a lot of rain or a lot of heat, and I got both, which is just so typical for the chamber. But, we did the softball game, and we had the Army and the Marines and the Navy come out there, and, President Skillman filled in and was a catcher for them, and it just had a lot of fun. Mike Kilborn was awesome, helping me get the 5K, which I'm obviously not qualified to run off the ground, and I think that there's so much potential for growth. So I think as a city, you guys should be really proud of the direction that we're moving in as a chamber, and after the 12 years of being here, I'm super proud to still represent this community, and I just really wanted to make sure I gave you guys a really heartfelt thank you for everything you did for us. So, thank you.
Thank you also.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
also.
Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What
and-
else do you have to say tonight?
So I did talk to John earlier today. On that note, the Community Service Award event, when we brought this to you guys 6 years ago, we had 6 spots, and I think, Paul, you were a trustee then, and maybe Kevin. So we have 1 spot left for 2018. We don't want it to be the end of the event, but we definitely want a name on that plaque. So it's time to start thinking about that. The event is always in November. It's always the week before the Thanksgiving, and you guys just really get to choose somebody that you really feel goes above and beyond promoting Carpentersville, events within Carpentersville. We do not care. We don't put any parameters on who you choose, but that event has gotten statewide recognition. We have state senators and representatives who come every year, and they follow up with the recipients and give them some extra. They took one of the groups down to Springfield and brought them out on the floor. It's really grown into something that I think we can all be very proud of. So as you guys are doing the summer stuff, you have 3 more events coming up. You guys can really start looking at an individual that you would want to recognize this year. So we expect your full support on that event as well.
Ma'am.
November?
Yes, it's. I want to say it's November 15th. So it always falls the Wednesday before, the week before Thanksgiving.
Yes, we'll come up with some ideas, and we could probably post it to the website and come up with some nominations for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, all right. Well, thank you for your time tonight, and thank you again for all of your help over the weekend. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
And
Thank
great
you.
job on
Thank you, and thank
everything
you,
that
for
you've
those that
done
were
for
there.
it. So.
Saturday.
For a 2-person staff between you and Karen, you're really doing an amazing job.
Yeah, we feel our age right now.
Thank you. Okay. Next item will be consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the trustee so requests, in which the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda.
I'll motion to pass the consent agenda.
I have one to remove. I'd like to remove E for consideration.
I'll amend my motion to remove item E from the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion to remove item E from the
I'll
consent
second.
agenda.
And to otherwise approve the consent agenda.
Otherwise,
Yes.
approved.
I'll second.
We have a second by Trustee Ray Burke.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Frost.
Yes.
Trustee Vela.
Yes.
President Skillman.
Yes.
Trustee Humper.
Yes.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Yes.
And Trustee Rayberg.
Yes.
Okay, so we have item E, consideration of resolution accepting a bid from RMS Utility Services in the amount not to exceed $92,687 for the purpose of rehabilitating sanitary sewer manholes.
I'll motion to pass this resolution.
I'll second.
Okay, we have motion and second discussion then, please.
Yes, the only discussion I had was, I was looking through the contract. I didn't see any prevailing wage language or any certified payroll language, and there was only 2 contractors that bid it. I don't know if that's normal or if that's just, I know you guys put it out there. If 2 is normal, or maybe we can get an answer on that at some point. Plus, at the at the security was left blank. I'm not sure if there was a bond, if they had brought up a bond.
Well, thank you for asking those questions. First of all, we do all the things required by us when we go out for a bid. We advertise in a local newspaper, so we really don't have control over the number of bidders that come out and bid. Secondly, I believe last year we had 2 or 3 companies did bid on this on the project. This year, 2 bid. We did check out RMS references, and they come highly recommended from 2 municipalities. I never got a hold of the third one. I believe that there is, and I'll have to check, prevailing wage requirements within the contract. Typically, it's at the end of the contract is where the ordinance is, but this is a prevailing wage project.
Okay. How about certified payroll?
Certified payroll, that's just part of the prevailing wage. We always require that before we approve any payment to the contractor.
Okay, and bond?
Bond, they provided a bid bond, and they will also provide a performance and security bond. Yep,
Okay.
that are all covered.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
Hey, Bob, just for my education, because I don't have any experience in this, why would you guess only 2 people bid on something worth $92,000?
I think it's a specialized field. There's not a lot of companies out there who do this, compared to pipelining. There are
A
several
road
who
project,
bid on
you know,
that
the asphalt
yeah.
project. Yeah.
But there's just not a lot of companies who specialize in this.
Seemed like, I was just thinking the same thing, actually. It sounds like a lot of money, like a business opportunity. 92 grand sounds like a lot of dough, huh? Is it tough to, again, just trying to learn some of these, is it tough to get into, you think, or?
Pardon me?
What's the barrier to entry? Is it tough to get into this field?
There's a startup cost for the equipment, and I just think that I can't answer the question. I
There
know
could be a
that there's
number of reasons.
startup-
They could have a lot of work already. Other competitors just don't have time to do it.
Timing of our bidding process, or no, you don't think? so?
Just part of the reason why we switched to a calendar year, so that it gave us more front-end time to put out and get bids, from organizations.
I think the experiences I had bid in July, a lot of the contractors are swamped, and usually they just throw a huge number at it. Whether they get it, if they get it, they get it. They don't, they don't. So
Bingo, yeah.
that's my past.
Yeah, last year we did bid the project, and it came in at about 113,000. So this is a very similar project with the same footage as last year, so we did get it a little bit cheaper this year than last year.
So nobody should feel like they got, the 2 bids didn't get them a decent number, I guess, is what we're getting at.
I think that they were competitive, yes.
Okay.
Don't we have an estimate usually on the bid before we go out?
Just
What
from
we
past
what we
projects.
think it's going to be about? So at least we have a number that's close to, we kind of benchmark it against it.
Trustee Frost, does that satisfy your
I believe so, yeah.
concerns? All right.
Yeah, and I'll get that documentation for you tomorrow, and I'll
That's
email
fine.
it over.
Our bid process is reviewed by our auditors too as well every year, just so you know that.
And I've sat in on quite a few bids before, not only with Carpentersville, with other towns and villages. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee O'Sullivan,
Yes.
Trustee Rayberg,
Yes.
Trustee Frost,
No.
Trustee Vela,
Yes.
Trustee Humper.
Yes.
And President Skillman.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay. Next item, reports of manager and staff. We have economic development update, please.
Good evening. I'd like to give an update on development activity. Through June 30th, there have been 22 new businesses that have opened. Compared to all of 2017, there were 32 businesses, so we're well on a way to improving on that. Some of the projects we've been working on, Spotted Fox Ale House and the former Famous Dave's on Route 31. They signed a lease in April. Interior demo began in May, and they're looking to open this fall. The Tom Thumb building at 116 Carpenter. District 300 is all ready to demolish that. They are waiting for utility shut-off to begin that. So that could start anytime, really. The Carson's building. I found the brokerage firm that's handling the disposition of that property. I contacted them and really emphasized to them that it's a high priority redevelopment site for us. They sent me the listing sheet. I've sent it to some developers who might be interested in that. They've said they've had some interest, people kicking the tires right now. The one good thing is Bonton owns the property outright. It's not a leasehold, so it should be a little bit easier if there is an interested party to get that redeveloped. Bricks on the Fox, the banquet facility, and the former Milk Specialties building. The redevelopment agreement for that was approved just July 3rd, a meeting. The interior rehab has already started. They plan on opening this fall. They've got about 35 to 40 events already scheduled for there. Auto Tech, there's 2 items coming up right behind me, so I won't take a lot of time with that. Just we've been spending a great deal of time getting this going. Phase 1 has already started. That's the stormwater improvements and the dewatering. Phase 2 is the actual construction of the building. And then Retail Strategies, they've got a couple of strong leads that they're working on. They're working with a convenience store who's interested in a vacant parcel. This convenience store, there's going to be a change to the liquor code. Once that occurs, they're going to be ready to make a decision on our site. There's also a quick service hamburger destination that is very interested in our market. They're expanding into Illinois. They're going to be opening 100 sites. Their closest one is in Crystal Lake, and they like our market. So they're going to be. They've set a site visit, and they're going to be coming and looking at some sites. Retail Strategies is always focused on the former Dominick's. They contacted a clothing and apparel store, and over the last couple of months, they finally got feedback from them. And what they said is, we spoke to them again, and they for now have officially turned down the Dominick's location. They told us again that the demographics they need aren't there at the time. They've also contacted 2 fitness centers who have some interest in it. One of them, though, is looking near the mall, but they haven't signed yet. If that falls through, they'll be taking the Dominick site back to them. And then there's a couple of other clothing stores that have shown some interest in Dominick's, but nothing definite yet on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good. Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, next item, old business. We have no old business tonight. New business. Ordinance rezoning the property at 140 Carpenter Boulevard to M1 zoning district and improving a plan of unit development and final plat of subdivision for the Auto Tech Center, 140 Carpenter Boulevard. And B is a resolution approving a redevelopment agreement with the First American Bank as trustee of, can we do these together?
Yes, we can.
Of trust number
Although before we get
104,
there-
yeah, 112, and yes, sir, go ahead.
Thanks, counsel. On both of these, I need to recuse myself and absent myself from the
All
discussion.
right, take a break.
Thank you, John.
And we would just ask for a motion to combine the two matters as on one vote.
I'll motion to combine items A and B.
I'll second.
We have a motion by trustee Rayberg, second by trustee Humfer. And
If you'd like, Mr.
any
President.
discussion?
Yeah, John Sverlenka's here to go through the project if you'd like, a brief discussion. We also have,
Vote on the motion to combine the two.
Yes, we do.
to combine the two first?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Then we can be able to vote on it directly.
And you can just do that on a voice vote.
A voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay. Motion carries.
Sorry about that.
Combining.
So then we need another motion to open up the discussion.
We do. Yeah. I'll motion.
I'll second.
Motion second to open discussion. Any, or voice call, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can
Okay.
just let,
We can do it?
yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Savolenka talk.
Okay, John.
And we also have
John.
John Whitehouse here, too, from EEI, representing the owner-developer, if there's any questions specifically. So, that being said, Mr. Sverlenka?
So real briefly, there's a rendering of the building on the screen, so you can see what it will look like adjacent to Carpenter Park. The project's pretty straightforward. It went to the Planning and Zoning Commission in April at a public hearing. They unanimously recommended approval of it. We've got the full set of drawings in there with some standard conditions and exceptions, and we'd ask that you approve this request, and I can answer any kind of detailed questions you may have.
Any questions, anyone?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Sure is. Okay, I mean, there's been a lot of work on this from the staff and Mr. Whitehouse and everybody at Otto, of course. So, no questions at all?
So then
Okay.
we'll bring up Patrick Burke, then we'll talk about the second item. Just some details on the RDA then. Mr. Burke, please, thank you.
Yeah, the redevelopment agreement is for Phase 2, the actual construction of the building. The village is committing $3.5 million of incremental property tax revenue for a total commitment of $5 million for this project.
Yeah, we're looking at 15 years, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
A
maximum.
TIF obligation.
Yeah, 15 years, maximum commitment of $234,000 a year. So, just FYI, that's, get it done.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've had a lot of discussion about this. I mean, this is not new for us, and I don't want people to misinterpret the lack of questions, but we've gone through this in detail, and I think we know what's coming, and we know what we had to do, and we've been working with staff directly to move this along. So I just want to make sure that that is known by, our residents, that we're at the point now finally to move forward with this, and I think that's what we're going to do tonight.
Yes. Very good, thank you. Okay,
Just need a motion to approve the combined items.
okay, a motion to approve the combined items, please?
I'll motion.
I'll
Motion.
second.
Motion trustee Rayberg, second trustee Frost. Roll call, please.
Trustee Vela,
Yes.
trustee Humfer,
Yes.
trustee Rayberg,
Yes.
trustee Frost,
Yes.
President Skillman.
Yes, and motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with trustee reports.
I just want to thank the board, though, for getting this done and, recognize staff. They put a lot of hard work into getting this done, especially over the past few weeks and, especially with Attorney Stewart, too. So thank you very much. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no, thank you, for sure. I echo that.
There's yeah.
Oh, hi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
As Manager Huber mentioned, my name is John Whitehouse. I would also like to thank
the Village of Carpentersville staff. This is a very hugely unique project because of the property that it sits on. The property is never developed because there's 5 feet of unsuitable soil overlying the sand and gravel beneath, and this property never would have developed without the cooperation of the village, Mr. Roser's commitment to quality, and the assistance of, you know, your public works, engineering, development staff. So as a native of the Village of Carpentersville, I want to applaud the board for having a staff like you have that makes a project like this possible. So this whole thing is not going to be regretted at all by the village. So I want to thank you again.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Whitehouse.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Trustee reports. Trustee Vela.
None.
None tonight?
No comment.
All right. Trustee Frost.
I just had a few. Remind all the residents that a lot of construction coming to the Village of Carpentersville, just to be aware of all the workers out there. Try to slow down in those construction sites. A lot coming up in August in Carpenter Park. Parks and Recs, you could check on the website. Melissa said, was here for the fest on the Fox. I thought it went well. Did not get rained out. And garbage cans, keep them a couple feet away from each other for pickup, and keep your yard work up. And enjoy those parks. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Frost. Trustee Rayberg.
No trustee report for me tonight.
Comments? And Trustee Humfer.
I have no report tonight, thank you.
Thank you.
Your report.
All right. Okay, you know, again, the fest was really nice Saturday. Thank you to Public Works for all their hard work. And Melissa, of course, did a great job with it too. So we've already discussed some changes for next year, so to make it bigger and better. So everything we do, we want to try to, you know, work on it and make it bigger and better the following year. So there'll be much more to come on that. So I'm sure you'll be hearing. So, all right, so next item would be closed session. A motion to enter closed session to discuss pending litigation pursuant to 5 ILCS, right? 128/2611, 2C11, I'm sorry. Motion, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Humper, second. Trustee Rayberg. Roll call, please.
Trustee Humper?
Yes.
Trustee O'Sullivan?
Yes?
Trustee Rayberg?
Yes.
Trustee Frost?
Yes.
Trustee Vela?
Yes.
President Skillman?
Yes. Okay, we will go to closed session. Thank you.